Hello, good morning and welcome to Joy News Interactive. Welcome. Finally, it's another Monday. I'm sure we've all done with our holidays. We're well rested. We're live from digital address GA09925339 in Kokomim Accra. On Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, we're Joy News on TV. We're also on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 144. Send us your comments. We really appreciate them. As Ghana gets ready to commemorate President AKUFO-ADDO'S 3 years in office, I guess it's time to assess his tenure. How has he been doing? Now, we've been having various conversations and we've been talking about President AKUFO-ADDO'S 3 years in office. Today, the conversation was on how well he has managed the economy, and you've been reacting to this. Let's go to Facebook and see what you have been saying. This one's from Ed Williams, who says President AKUFO-ADDO has performed better and managed the economy, while most of my course mates who are unemployed are now working. Interest rates has been reduced, stable electricity for businessmen. He's a listening president. One reason I may campaign for him is how he has been able to promote local rice, African clothes, planting for food and jobs, and he's a blessing to our generation. God bless him for more. This one's from Matt Rainbow, who says more room to improve. He needs to deliver his promises, get rid of some lazy ministers, fix the roads. December is a few months away and we are not paying this time. He must improve. Emmanuel also says, I expected Nana to behave a little different from previous governments in terms of flamboyant lifestyles. If he says the economy he inherited was not good, why the size of his government? Why is it too big? Why the long convoy, same as the past? Very unnecessary government executive spending. For me, it's a poor performance, and that's from Emmanuel Owusu. Pius Asiedu says, 1,000% the man has performed beyond expectation. We never expected such performance from him, and I'm sure by the end of the tenure, Kwame Nkrumah's name will be fully erased as the most performed president. Lucas says Nana-Addo has not lived to the billing. Hopes were very high. We thought he will do things differently, but he has failed to deliver. Things are deteriorating under him, and he seems not to care. Baba Magical says extremely poor. He needs to wake up from sleep and we plan a better agenda that will possibly grow us in the near future. Suleiman, a journalist, says he has performed better and so far the best in history of Ghana. All right, this is the last Facebook comment I'm taking from Mohammed, who says, I'm very satisfied with his output, putting 3 years of every president to compare with him. Indeed, you'll realize that the NPP government has performed far better, so I will rate him A+. Australia is being ravaged by the worst wildfire scene in decades, with large swaths of the country devastated since the fire season began late July in 2019. A total of 24 people have died nationwide. And in the state of New South Wales alone, more than 1,300 houses have been destroyed. State and federal authorities are struggling to contain the massive blazes, even with firefighting assistance from other countries, including the United States. All this has been exacerbated by the persistent heat and drought, and many point to climate change as a factor making natural disasters go from bad to worse. There have been fires in every Australian state, but New South Wales has been hit hardest. Each year, there's a fire season during the Australian summer with hot, dry weather, making it easy for blazes to start and spread. Natural causes are to blame most of the time, like lightning strikes in drought-affected forests. Dry lightning was also responsible for starting a number of fires in Victoria's East Gippsland region in late December. Now, it's been trending on various social media platforms, and if you haven't seen the intensity of this, let's watch this. Come up.
Yeah, do you want a hand? Yeah.
You pick him up and I'll... We'll take him to the koala section.
Is there one nearby? Is there one nearby? Yeah. Important quote.
Sorry. More water. Do you want more? We've got heaps.
Yeah, we got...
All right. We'll get going in a second. Okay. Thanks. Would you ring the koala hospital? Can you do that?
Yeah.
And say that they're bringing one in.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
Thank you.
What's your name?
Tony.
Tony.
Now, those are some visuals from Australia, and we try and get some tweets. But now let me take you to this live feed where the interpolitical parties are addressing a press conference against the new voters register, and Hassan Ayarga is addressing the press.
Deception in smuggling in the thoughts of a new voter register into discussion that never mentioned same. We subsequently demanded an amendment of the minutes, which unfortunately had been written to corroborate the lies told in the communique, and the corrections were effected. On the 25th of November 2019, political parties were invited to an emergency IPAC meeting to discuss the EC's program on the district level elections, only for the EC to once again smuggle in the idea of a new biometric register. After our resistance, they promised to call for a full-blown meeting to discuss the subject. On the 2nd of December 2019, much to our dismay, we were invited for another emergency IPAC meeting. We are amazed how any serious administrator will organize 2 consecutive emergency meetings, but when we offered them the benefit of the doubt, the technical team of the EC presented an outline of reasons why they wanted a new register, and it bordered on the following. 1, the data system is outdated. 2, the biometric equipment, BVD, is obsolete. 3, data transmission system not effective. 4, need for facial recognition technology to eliminate manual verification, which was 0.6% of total registered votes in 2016. The political parties' representatives and their technical team responded with some counterfactual on all the issues raised. The parties argued that all the issues raised could be resolved by upgrading the current biometric voter register without discarding the biometric data of voters. The EC then agreed that the cost of upgrading the current register was going to be expensive than the cost of the new system. This generated some argument which finally led to the consensus that political parties ought to be furnished with some critical documents, including valuation reports, quotations for new biometrics voter solution. At least the political parties here present are yet to receive their copies of the document promised by the Commission. Subsequently, we were invited to another meeting on the 10th of December 2019 at the Coconut Grove Hotel, Accra, ostensibly to continue to discuss where we left off the previous week, at least according to our expectation. We got there only to be informed that four vendors had been shortlisted through a procurement process, which we did not know about, to present a demonstration of their systems and designs. We became heavily enraged, and 5 political parties had to stage walkout. The EC, in its bids to cover and blur the decision-making process, had resorted to calling only emergency meetings upon emergency meetings, so as to escape the burden of having to revisit matters and decisions made in previous meetings. Fellow citizens, ladies and gentlemen of the press, we are concerned about the EC act of bad faith and lack of transparency by proceeding with the procurement process of the new register. When discussions had barely begun, we are concerned about the complete sidelining and disregard for IPAC. We are deeply concerned about the discarding of consensus building in electoral programs decision-making. That notwithstanding, the Electoral Commission has recently obtained approval from Parliament to spend close to 830 million Ghana cedis to compile a new register for the 2020 general elections. The budget comprises of 443 million, that is 4.4 trillion old cedis for the new biometric voter management system, and some whopping 390 million Ghana cedis, that is 3.9 trillion old cedis, for the operational cost of the registration exercise. Not only are we unable to fathom why any citizen can go on this brazen expedition of expenditure of wasting the taxpayers' money, but also outraged by the support of the clueless majority in Parliament led by Honorable Chair Mensa Bonsu, MP for Swami. It is the considered view of the resistance that the argument adduced so far by the EC and their assigns do not convince a fly on the need to spend close to 1 billion Ghana cedis on new voter register. Thus, I say to you verily that the success of our resistance to the compilation of this register will yield savings of close to about 500 million cedis of the taxpayers' money. This money can be used to build roads, schools, hospitals, factories, and even upgrade the free senior high school. Fellow citizens, the government is supporting the needless expenditure of this 833 million Ghana cedis at a time when farmers are crying, fishermen are crying, cocoa farmers are crying, teachers are crying, nurses are crying, contractors are crying, drivers are crying, businesses and banks are collapsing, students are losing hope in our governance system. The teachers, nurses, and contractors are crying because they own huge areas of involvement and entitlement by the state. The drivers are crying because the perennial increase in fuel pricing are driving them out of business. The farmers are crying because they cannot afford the increasing cost of agriculture inputs. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow countrymen, at this point, let me proceed to deal with their main arguments so far. They have argued that there has been high incidence of manual verification, mostly due to worn-out fingerprints from persons engaged in manual labor, e.g., like farmers. Hence the need to change the register. The first question is, will the replacement of this register stop people from engaging in manual labor? Will their fingerprint change overnight because we are replacing the register? The answer is a big no. May I repeat, fellow citizens, that this is by far what appears to be their main reason for the replacement of the register. Interestingly, the EC have argued that the new register would allow them to use facial recognition technology for inclusive authentication for those who are unable to be authenticated using fingerprints. This, according to them, will cure the high incidence of manual verification. First of all, we do not have a problem with that as a party or as a group. Even though the fingerprints, iris, and other modalities are far more superior to facial recognition, as revealed by the British Broadcasting Corporation in a report, which suggested that the failure rates of facial recognition are even more pronounced when it's deployed on black population. The website is there for you to go through when you get a copy of it. We, however, have a problem with this unjustified fixation on the replacement of a register as a fit-for-all solution to all the problems of the EC. Ladies and gentlemen, despite the inherent challenges in use of facial recognition technology, our experts have indicated that it can be incorporated into the current register, especially as the current register already contains high-resolution photos of voters. This IT solution, therefore, renders the argument of the EC to replace the current biometric voter register so as to allow for incorporation of the facial verification system mute, unattainable, and unacceptable. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, we hold the view that any attempt to spend an additional CD on Ghana taxpayers' money on a new register will amount to complete wastage, needless spending of limited state resources. We maintain our support for the upgrade of the current register and wish to demand that the EC consider saving the national resources for other social and economic development projects. Fellow citizens, ladies and gentlemen of the press, owing to the foregoing, we extend invitation to the general public, civil society, moral society, the diplomatic community, the media to join us in making our voice heard against the decision of the EC to compile a new voter register for the 2020 elections. Join us in this massive movement to resist this suppressitious agenda to deny the people's mandate at the expense of the taxpayers. The Jane Mensah-led EC and the government must be reminded that the sovereignty of Ghana resides in the people. At least the history of this country has provided ample evidence, and the fact that the people's power, when tried or suppressed, erupts stronger in range like fire. We call all to join the Yempini Declaration across the country. The inter-party resistance against the new voter register shall embark on a series of public manifestations across the country. Therefore, whoever you are, wherever you are, you can't miss the opportunity to be part of history. On Saturday, the 11th of January 2020, we shall be in Tamale for the mega Tokusai. The Dogomba word Tokusai means we will not agree demonstration. The conveying point will be the Tamale Jubilee Park at 6 a.m. We shall follow up with Yempini, the Santi West demonstration in Kumasi on Tuesday, 21st January 2020, and climax with, this word, Wukupini, Wapene demonstration in Accra on Tuesday. Sadly, my wife is a Ghana. 28th of January 2020. Whilst at it, we shall also embark on a series of mass picketing exercises across the country. Do not be left out in this historic movement. It is your responsibility, my responsibility, and our collective responsibility to ensure that the sanctity and integrity of our democracy is protected and preserved. We must make common cause to ensure that the EC does not take the entire nation on this wasteful and uncertain path that has the potential to plunge this country into crisis. A peaceful and successful election is non-negotiable. Long live the resistance, long live our democracy, long live Mother Ghana. And God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. Thank you, thank you, and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hassan Ayaga. Before we take the local version of this press conference, let me acknowledge the presence of Mr. Akamba, the national organizer for NDC, Mr. Emmanuel Boama, the IT director for UFP, Mordecai, the APC general secretary, and then Mr. Ansa, APC communications director. Alaji Sorogo is also here. Sorry, Alaji, for Honorable Alaji Honorable, forgive me. We also have Alaji Farouk of the APC, Faruddin of PNC. The local version, that is Tree, is going to be read by Nana Ejenim Boating, the leader and founder of UFP. Before he comes in, Nana, 1 minute. Before he comes in, we also have Alan Benz, who is the communication director for UPP. Let's see you, Alan Benz. Yeah, and then he's at the back. Okay, yeah.
And that's how we wrap up Joy News Interactive here on the Joy News channel, on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. More Joy News on TV. I am Apito CBD. Enjoy the rest of your day.